Right now we're learning about some breaking news outside San Antonio. This is new video from the scene of a reported explosion at a FedEx facility, and an FBI source tells CBS News that, quote, "It's more than possible this blast in San Antonio is connected to the package explosions in Austin." We're told initial reports came in around 12:30 this morning, and that one person, a FedEx employee, was hurt. San Antonio SWAT and bomb squad are on scene right now, along with agents from the ATF and FBI. We have a crew en route right now. We'll talk to them live as soon as we can.
And investigators are convinced that the person building these bombs is sophisticated and obviously extremely dangerous. Reporter Patrick Perez this morning spoke to the couple who helped the two young men who were injured in the latest Austin explosion.
It started with a boom.
At first we thought it was maybe a car accident.
But Jeff and Amy Sasser quickly realized it was something more.
Grabbed a flashlight because it was dark, ran around the house next door and saw the two boys sitting in the grass, and they appeared to be shaken up and maybe in shock.
The two men, Will Grody and Colton Matthias, injured after Austin police say a tripwire caused a device to explode as they were walking down the street.
One of them had a injury on the lower leg, and blood was streaming down kind of from knees down on both legs. And the other boy, maybe a little more in shock, wasn't saying that much.
The couple ran back inside the house and called 911.
I grabbed some first aid materials, ran back, was getting ready to help as I could, and then the first responders, we could hear the sirens close, and so at that point we stepped back away. And
they've known the two men's families for years.
They're fantastic young men. Yeah, we watched them grow up.
And seeing them on the ground needing help was difficult.
Didn't appear to be as bad as it could have been.
Yeah, and he spoke back to us very coherently, so it made me feel like that, you know, they at least knew where they were and knew what was happening.
Now their quiet neighborhood forever changed.
It's frightening that you could just happen upon that on an evening stroll and not even realize it, and it makes you feel vulnerable.
And that was Patrick Perez. You know, a lot of people are getting the word out on social media, but sometimes a quick share about these bombings can quickly turn into misinformation.
This morning, Jason Puckett verifying for us so we know fact from fiction.
We don't always know where these rumors come from, but we can put an end to them. We've gathered comments from Facebook, Twitter, Reddit, Nextdoor, and more. First up, what's true? People scared about this text alert from APD. A number of folks claim they got it even from across the city. Well, we asked APD, they said, yeah, this was a glitch.
Travis Country is the only neighborhood that is affected.
Next, to claim even some big name websites picked up on, the tripwire was connected to a for sale sign. Well, we asked ATF, and it's half true. We can verify it was attached to a sign, but the ATF doesn't even want to say what type of it. So two true claims right there. Let's tackle some false ones now. Titles and comments said the tripwire stretched across the entire road. Then people were asking how a car didn't trip it. Well, the answer via APD, the wire was next to the road, not across it. And here's a bit of a head scratcher. People asking why there's no video of any of these explosions. Some sites going so far as to say no video, no explosions, hinting at a potential conspiracy. Well, you can ignore those comments. That right there is a video from last night. You can't see the explosion, but you can hear it. And there could be more out there. APD is still asking neighbors to help out.
And if you live in Travis Country and you have video surveillance on your home, please contact us.
And that was Jason Puckett reporting. You can always find the latest on our website at KHOU.com.
We have some breaking news out of Southwest Houston this morning. I want to give you a live look right now as investigators search for a man who beat his father to death with a baseball bat before then taking off. It happened overnight at a home on Sylmar Road. Police say that the mother of the 29-year-old suspect saw all of this happen. We'll have more on what she told investigators. That's coming up here in a live report in about 30 minutes.
It is now time for your morning rush. Uber has suspended road testing for its self-driving cars after one of their vehicles struck and killed a woman in Arizona. Police say the woman was crossing a busy street and was not in a crosswalk. A safety driver was in the car. So far, no charges have been filed. People in Alabama are recovering after a string of tornadoes just tore through the state yesterday. Several buildings in the town of Jacksonville were completely destroyed. That storm system now heading for Georgia, Florida, and the Carolinas. The young man known as the Affluenza teen is set to become a free man on April 2nd. Ethan KHOU served 2 years for violating probation he received for killing 4 people in a drunk driving crash. His attorneys claimed he didn't know right from wrong because his family is wealthy. The Weinstein Company has filed for bankruptcy in hopes of getting a buyout. Chairman Harvey Weinstein was fired last year over accusations of sexual assault. The studio says it'll release victims from their non-disclosure agreements. A scam alert from Pearland police. Officials say 2 men knocked on a woman's door and said they worked for the city and needed to trim her trees. They instead snuck in, burglarizing her home, and then took off. Police are reminding everyone not to open their door for a city employee unless they have ID on them. And that is your morning rush. Russ.
Lisa, thank you. Social media lit up with support for the man that many called a hero during last week's deadly bus crash. The Channelview band director is now back in Houston this morning, and he shared his story with us. Brandy Smith, a lot of people are praising him for what he did after that bus went off the road.
They absolutely are, Russ. But Aaron Allison, he just kind of shrugs it off. He says he's not big on publicity like this. But we wanted to hear from the man who made sure his students were okay before he'd get treated for some pretty serious injuries.
Right foot is broken. This is the only thing that isn't broken in some manner.
It'll take weeks of rehab and healing before Aaron Allison's life is back to normal.
My entire left side is broke or rotted.
The Channelview High band director and several of his students landed in the hospital after the bus they were riding in flew off the freeway into a ravine last week. They were on their way home from performing at Disney World. First responders tell KHOU Allison refused to leave the bus until all the students were out.
I'm just glad that all my kids are back home. Everybody came back safe. Of course, I feel awful for the driver and what happened to him.
Driver Harry Callaghan died, and what caused him to go off the road is still under investigation. One student is still in the hospital, but Allison is amazed all his kids made it out alive.
We were very blessed with what happened. God was definitely watching over us that night because it could have been much, much worse.
I mean, when you look at this video of the bus down in that ravine, it's pretty incredible that this wasn't a whole lot worse. Obviously, a long road to recovery ahead for Allison. But you know what? In our interview last night, he said he was still very focused on his students.
5:09, good morning to you. We are anywhere from 15 to almost 20 degrees cooler this morning compared to yesterday. Temperatures widespread in the 50s, 53 in Conroe, 58 in Sugarland. Pearland, good morning. You're currently at 59. So clear skies starting off this morning, clear skies later this afternoon. Temperatures today topping out right around 71. Overnight tonight, mainly clear skies. We are going to start to see high pressure build in. Beautiful work week ahead, but with all the sunny skies and the dry conditions, you know what's going to happen. First official day of spring, everything is in bloom, so it's mainly the tree pollen. Now the ragweed is up. Mold spores and your grass pollen now at low levels, so pretty much everything popping up on the map. It's going to be another big pollen week ahead. So temperatures around 71 today. That north wind will continue, breezy at times. So the fire weather danger, that is going to continue just like yesterday. Low relative humidity in place. You'll notice that because of almost the cloudless afternoon to be expected. A few high clouds, and that should be about it. Temperatures still topping out in the mid to upper 70s for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Darby, not even to the upcoming weekend do we pop in about a 10 or a 20% chance for a shower. So a gorgeous work weekend.